Welcome back. It's my favorite time of the show when we get to learn how to make something amazing with Joe Baker. Joe, what are we cooking up today?
So today we're gonna make our own flour tortillas, right? I see them at the grocery store. I know that people love them, but they're too afraid to do it. So we're gonna jump right in and we're gonna do it, all right? So in the bowl, we have all of our dry ingredients, which is flour, a little bit of baking powder because we want that puffy tortilla. If you want it more natural, don't add the baking powder at all. We have fat. Today we're gonna use butter, but obviously when in Mexico, the most common fat is lard. So use any fat that you want. A little bit of salt, and of course, any other seasoning that you want can go in there. Just keep it limited, otherwise you're gonna change the texture of the tortilla.
Sure.
So Candace, if you'll go ahead and start mixing that, we wanna break that fat down. We wanna grind it with the dry goods until it's about like sawdust, right? So we're gonna make sure that it's a real fine texture. So one good way to do that, Candace is doing it here where she's kind of picking at it with both hands. Another way is to kind of rub it across the surface of your hands to really grind it down. This looks fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 ounces of warm water and Candace can continue mixing, right? We're looking for a thick dough. Now you'll see I already have our saute pan or skillet or cast iron or griddle hot. It needs to be very hot for this, right? We want these to cook very, very fast. They create a lot of steam. This dough is looking fantastic. Once you have it to an actual dough, go ahead and get it out of the bowl. And then we'll do it on the surface. We can go ahead and rub that around. That way it creates a beautiful, even finish, right? So roll it into a ball, and then we need to let it sit for about 1 or 2 minutes. That way we let all of that moisture hydrate completely. So after it's sat for about a minute or 2, we'll come through and we'll cut it into 4 even shapes. Right? And we'll take a shape and we'll roll this into a ball and then we'll set it aside as well. Now we're gonna take some flour your surface, and we have a rolling pin today. I know that some people don't have rolling pins. You can absolutely use a bottle of wine. You can use a rolling pin, a Coke bottle, anything that's round and you can control. Get some flour on top. And then it's always a good idea to hold flour in your hand and just coat the surface of your rolling pin also. Now, roll it to about 1/4 of an inch all the way down to 1/8 of an inch thick, and we want it to be as round as we can. Now, don't be afraid to kind of muscle this because we want to make sure we get it nice and thin. Again, we already have our surface hot, so once it's the thickness that we like and the shape that we like, we can just toss it right on there. Perfect, I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, it looks good.
So we get it on there. You saw I just dropped it in there. You don't have to worry about heating it or anything. Just keep your hands off the cooking surface. We'll give it a quick twist just to make sure the fat doesn't adhere or start to scorch, and then we'll see how quickly or slowly it cooks and make our adjustments as we go. We're getting a little bit of lift in here. I can tell this is gonna be a fantastic puffy, kind of a gordita style, right?
Well, of course.
We can pick it up, flip it over, right? And then this is where we start seeing how much it's gonna rise or drop.
Okay.
And then we can also adjust the thickness of our other tortillas. If we say this one's too thick or I'd like them thicker, it's always a good idea to test the first one while you're working before going all in on your final product.
This one does seem a little thick.
It is a little thick. I think it'll still be delicious.
Okay.
So this one's almost done. Again, I agree with you, it was a little thick. So that's why we always test the first one. This one is looking fantastic though. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this guy out. It is done. We'll set it there, and then Candace, if you want to do the honors, right, just drop it right on there. If it folds over, just like Candace did, just calmly open it right back up. We're going to turn the heat up just a little bit.
I should probably go ahead and taste this one, or you want me to wait and taste this
No,
one?
no, please, let's taste.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Joe.
Absolutely.
Well, no more stopping at Chewy's to pick up homemade tortillas.
No,
For me.
make them at your house. It's so much easier.
I love it. Thanks so much. To get this full recipe and many more, be sure to visit our website, todaywithcandace.com. If you'd like to learn more about Joe and his culinary creations, check out joethebaker.com.